Okay, sorry about the fan again. So something is screwy with this face that they sent. Now I'm not sure what the problem is. Well, I know what the problem is. It doesn't want to snap into position and stay in position. So I'm gonna take a leap of faith here. See how it's just falling off? It literally just drops right on. And my assumption is that they're relying on the face aligning properly with the case to hold it into position once it's in the watch. So I'm going to take a leap, and that's how I'm going to do that. Now, of course, I finger fucked this thing, and I got little bits of dust all over it, so I'm cleaning the dust off. So now I'm just going to whip out I'm just going to put the hands on, and I'm going to try to get it into the case with the least amount of, I'm going to try to get it into the case with the least amount of shenanigans. This should be a 3. Yeah, alright, so this is a 3-hand movement, which is exactly what I paid for. I had a razor blade here. There we go. This is the most. There's a reason they send you. There is an absolute reason that they send 3 sets of hands with these things, or 2 sets of hands, because the chances of screwing one of the sets of hands up is about 50%, really. I just hope that these hands go with this movement. The movement that came through, or this second movement, kind of worries me a little bit. Like, I'm wondering, like, I think there's supposed to be a chapter ring that holds this in place also. I don't know. So whilst I am very, very satisfied with my DIY watch experience so far, I may have finally come across one that's a little bit on the excuse my language, fucky side. Don't excuse my language. It's a little fucky with whatever's going on here. So, oh, it does have a center post. Okay, I was afraid that this movement didn't have a second hand post, but oh, it's there, and man, you can barely see that sucker. So getting the hour hand and the minute hand on is actually relatively simple. I'm not sure if it matters at all really when doing a black is bigger. When you're doing a mechanical watch, as long as they both line up at the same time. The hands obviously can't touch the face at any point, so you gotta kind of be careful. Therein lies why I'm a little leery. Oh, there it goes. It clicks right in usually. I've actually done this before. I mean, this will be my third. This is my third DIY watch, and I absolutely will buy another one if they get another something that's a little bit more. That's why I bought this Pilot watch, because it kind of appeals to me slightly more than another diver. I don't need another diver. I need something that's in the middle between the skeletonized version, which is truly a dress watch, and then my diver, which is kind of like I wanted a watch that I could wear anywhere with anything. Now, granted, I can wear the diver anywhere with anything. I just wanted kind of a little change up. I wanted just kind of a little change up in the thing. My big concern here with this is putting this thing in the case. I have the most odd feeling that when I go to put this thing together, it's going to want to really, really fuck with me. I'm relatively sure that that's going to be a problem. Now, interestingly enough, when we built the first one of these, I had a real tough time getting these in because I kind of I just made an asshole out of myself. I kind of festered over it a little bit more than I probably should have. I'm pushing the hour hand down a little more. The one thing I do worry about, and I did do to my diver, is I scratched the face. Now, I'm the only person in the world other than another watchmaker that would see the scratch, but that sucker's there for sure. I know it's there because I can see it. And I'm just lightly pressing that on. They send you a little piece of wood to do this kind of stuff with. And I set it aside somewhere and I don't know where I put it. And I'm kind of excited to get this together, so I'm not going to go look around. Well, what I might do right now is after I get this minute hand on, I may take a tiny little bit of a break. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I take that back. I probably am not going to take a break from this. Let my chair down a little bit more. That's it as far as it goes. Something that's really important with this that I didn't, I don't know if I covered it or not, but, well, two things. Is one, you want to make sure that everything's in straight, which, this ain't. Oh, fudge. I don't know if that's crooked or not. Lighting is very important, so you can have a contrast against your background. Yeah, it's a little wonky. It's not a Rolex. The minute hand's a little wonky, so I can press it down just a little bit more. Like I said, I wish I had a movement holder. I think if I'm going to do another one of these, actually, what I was thinking about doing is contacting DIY Watch Company and say, hey, not for nothing, but you really should throw in a there it goes. Throw in a $7 movement holder. It would make it even more watchmakery like, as far as I'm concerned. Now it's crooked the other way. Awesome. It would be much more watchmakery if you had a little movement holder to play with. I mean, it's, oh, there we go. And look at that, and it went right on, and it looks pretty decent too. There's one little more. So yeah, DIY Watch Company, you should really include a movement holder with your watch kit. for the toolkit. That's the, now the second hand is the fucker. This thing is like literally the size of a pubic hair. No, absolutely no pun intended. It is literally like a pubic hair. A big hairy 1970s Earth Mama muff pubic hair. So that would the addition of a movement holder is, I think, probably one of the only things. I'm not real happy with the way this face is going on, or the way this face went on. Now the second hand, I'm just plopping on because it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Now this second hand is actually painted, which is kind of cool. There's a little teeny tiny post on there. And I may have actually got it on the first shot. If I got that on the first shot, that's a miracle. No way. There's no way I did that. All right, I don't believe that for a second. Now this watch should be wound. Let's put the stem back in it. Well, the stem didn't fall off. Huh! Who'd have thunk it? Now, this is a hack movement, so I can actually theoretically, well, there's no theoretically about it. You can, in all reality, with this movement, set it to the second, which is very vitally important if you're I don't know, if you're setting bombs or what have you. Everybody needs to be hacked to the same. Everyone needs to be on literally the same time. And the best way for everybody to be on the same time is to have what's called a hack movement. This watch has a hack movement because, oops. Now that I have the hands on this, I got to be much more careful. So the one thing I did notice pretty quickly here is I do need to tweak the second hand a little bit. I had the same, actually it's the minute hand, it needs to be bent. I had a very similar problem with my diver when I put it together, is the hands they get bent when you put them on. Even a professional watchmaker will have to bend the hands a little bit here and there to get them to do what they want them to do. Oh, fuck me. That's what I get for being an overachiever. All right, well, now you get to see me pop the hands back off because I knocked the minute hand off. I knocked the minute hand off, which is an oopsie on my part. So, forever how proud I was of the fact that I got that second hand on in the first try, now I have to redo it because I was an overachiever. They send you this little kit here, or they send you this little thing that you stick down on here, and what it does is it protects the movement, or protects the face of the watch while you're popping the hands off. Boy, that really bums me out. And you pop them all off. You pop them off at the same time. And that second hand should come off too. Here it goes. Boy, that's irritating, man. I got that second hand on. First shot with the second hand, which is really cool. And then to turn around and screw it up by being an overachiever, well, that kind of stinks. But that's part of the quote-unquote fun of this project. And this is fun for me. This is definitely, I have a lot of weird hobbies, and of all the weird, goofy hobbies I've done, whether they're, whatever they are, that really got my attention. I bumped my elbow. My elbow is not happy. So the hour hand pops right on. For the most part, it's got a pretty wide base. Now you can actually, with this light here on the bias, or oblique, I think it's oblique, you can get a pretty good idea of whether or not the hands are set correctly. And they are. Now, the problem is I just was dicking around. I shouldn't have been doing that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done what I did. I should have just left it. I should have just left well enough alone. And I didn't do that. And I'm an asshole for doing that. What's really kind of screwy about this part of this project, or what's going on here with this project, is I am actually only, by doing that, I'm still kind of a little bit twitchy about what's going to happen when I go to put the watch itself in the case. I'm not crazy about the way that I'm not crazy about the way the face is fitting. Another thing is, I'm not too crazy about, I scratched these hands. These tweezers, while they are acceptable, I should probably, if I'm going to do any of this in any, I don't want to say serious way, but if I'm going to take this on as something that really interests me, then I truly need to probably invest in a little bit nicer pair of tweezers. If not one, at least. The other thing, and I actually might buy it sooner rather than later, is I need to contemplate a magnifying visor as opposed to this loop. The loop works okay, but what it does, and I'm pretty sensitive to this, is it seriously impedes your depth perception. It seriously impedes your depth perception, and depth perception is everything. No matter what you're doing, depth perception is important. Whether it's futzing around with a microscopic watch movement or shooting a rifle. Oops. Now we're back to where we were. Yeah. Oh, it didn't set all the way. That's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that something's not setting right here. The white one is the little one. The black one is the big one. And this also falls under that, what I was talking about the amount of force that is required is not nearly that thing just not sitting in there right. It's still bothering me. Well, hopefully I can get the movement in without fighting with the without fighting with it too much. So there's a post that second hand fits on that is, again, like the size of a human hair. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, now we're going to hit it with some, we're going to drag out the Radico here. Check to make sure the second hand is not going to hit the minute hand, which is what got this started before. But instead of being an idiot and fucking with the minute hand, I'm just going to tweak that second hand up a little bit like that. And then I'm going to push down on that one like, not with that tool. You have to be very careful of the loom. And the glowy and the dark stuff. It's the glow and the dark stuff likes to come like, ah, fucker. The glowy and the dark stuff likes to fall off. I'm going to do something that's not too bright here. Pop those off again. The watchmakers use plastic bags. I like these little. I like this little card that came with it. Well, the upside to this is I'm getting good at taking the hands off. The downside to this is I shouldn't have to be taking the hands off so much. The hour hand is nice and set. The minute hand, there's something wrong with the way the minute hand is setting. I'm going to take a break because that's what you have to do here. So I'm going to take a break for a second and smoke a cigarette and drink a little bit of coffee so I can get good and shaky when I'm fucking with the smallest parts.